We feel humbled beyond words to have a revered school patron, Dr. Sharma Chona ma'am, with us today. Dr. Chona ma'am is Lotus Valley family's greatest treasure, the founder of a loving legacy that lingers on in our cherished memory. May we please request ma'am to address us all.
Thank you for that beautiful program. A great human revolution has just begun. It has just begun with this program, and every single individual, parent or child who has joined this institution will feel a change. And that change will be the change not only in the child and the parent, but it will lead to the change in the nation. And further, it will enable the change in the world. It will change the destiny of the humankind, of the mankind, with your efforts. I mean, our new set of kids and parents who have come in today in the orientation program to realize what a beautiful world Anita Malhotra, the director principal, has created for your young ones. She couldn't have done it all alone. Behind her, we have the chairperson, Jaspreet Kaurji, and member Surina ji, and of course, the real man behind, the real mind behind all of this is Mr. Gurdeep Singh, who will never be seen here, but he can hear it all, he can see it all, and he can guide it all. When I hear the laughter of Anita Malhotra, I quickly want to run back to the school, because these days, laughter has gone out of the lives of people. You see more people complaining, you see more kids crying, but there are very few people who can laugh to the heartiest way to resound the walls. Thank you, Anita, for being there, for creating this human revolution, because Lotus Valley is not just another school. Lotus Valley is a school where we are going to create, and we're already creating, as you saw, the citizens of the world, because today the world has come together in a way that our children need to learn that a pain in America is felt in India, a problem in London is hurting us. Anything that happens in Ukraine is our problem. And as children grow, they realize that they do not just belong to their families and schools, but they belong to a larger world, and that world has to be safe and sound so that we are all safe and sound, because any problem, any health condition travels in a way that it has never traveled before, which we have just experienced. My dear friends, my dear parents, yes, your children, you've given them birth, and the word parenting originates from the word pair. That's the two of you, the father and the mother, and together you're going to rear this beautiful child of yours. And if you're not a parent for the first time, then you've already experienced what I am saying. Every child is born with a nature which is so specific to that little one. Yes, of course, at birth, he must cry, because he should finish off his crying as soon as he's born so that he can laugh the rest of his life. And you and I, the parents, the grandparents, the family, the friends, and of course the school, they have to all work together to make this world a beautiful place for the young ones. And the young ones have their own sanskars when they are born, and we have to understand those sanskars, because we do believe that we are all born with a certain genetic background, whatever you may call it, but our shastras have called them sanskars. Unless you understand your child, unless you treat your child as an individual, that child will feel lost. He will not get that individual respect and love and affection for what he or she is. When I speak of she, it is he and he for she, so don't really worry too much. I'm so happy that we have almost equal number of girls and boys studying in Lotus Valley, because what they can learn from each other is much more than you and I can teach them. The parents, of course, have been very, very fortunate to be able to afford their children's education in a beautiful school with a lovely 2 headmistresses and a great principal as their guiding lights. We do understand that every individual child's potential, aptitude, interest has to be protected. And that's why we do create individual education plans. These are not just individual education plans, but we're also very, very concerned about not only what they learn academically in the books, which we call IQ, intelligence quotient, but we are equally concerned about the children's EQ, that is emotional quotient. I think emotional quotient is the basis of all performance. If you're happy, you'll do well. If you're unhappy, it'll take you longer. So our common responsibility is to keep our kids emotionally happy. Now, some children are more angry. Some children are more introverts. Some children are less social. So I have divided the quotients into many. So you have the IQ, which is the intelligence quotient. Then you have the EQ, as I just mentioned, which is the emotional quotient. But then the most important today is also the physical quotient, the PQ. I feel so sad for the children for the last 2 years. I mean, they have no exercise. They're shut in the rooms. They are on, the digital, less way of learning. There are hardly any outings. And I do hope that now they'll be able to have, their outings, go out and play in the evenings. Please don't deprive them. I hope the principal is not giving you a very heavy bag, because we want to protect their physical health. Because if you are healthy, your mind is healthy and your thoughts are healthy. And then I also think about SQ. SQ is a social quotient. As I just said, some kids are introverts, some kids are extroverts. Don't try to change their inherent nature, and don't feel bad or good either way. They find that as they go along, their friends will influence them. Their teachers will be their mothers and fathers. Their granny is there as well. And I'm sure Anita ji will be taking care of all the emotions that a child might miss as a lonely baby at home with so many friends in the school. So social skills are really, really important. But these days, there is another quotient called the DQ, digital quotient. I'm very poor at the digital quotient, and I sometimes have to learn from the children. So dear parents, do not try and outsmarten your kids. Sometimes the kids can smarten you. They can teach you so much. Are you ready to learn? Lotus Valley is not only a school for the children, it's also a school for the parents. Of course, our teachers are learning all the time. And who do you think are the gurus? Our gurus are your children. You are fortunate to have them, and they're also very fortunate to have you. You're educated, mothers are working, and I'm sure the kid is getting more independent. There are lots of advantages of both parents working, so don't feel guilty about it. And whenever you feel that you need more time in the school, I'm sure we have programs to keep them busy here. If not, we'll create them. All I'm trying to say is that the future of the world depends on the child of today. And we're living in a world which is comprehensive. We're living in a world which is one. Whether you're an Indian or a Chinese or a Japanese or a Nepalese, finally, you are all belonging to one humankind, the mankind. Our feelings are common, our laughter is common, and our problems are common. And we have to prepare the child of today to face the digital world of today and tomorrow and be smart enough to outbeat because here begins the revolution in this institution. I have always believed that your kid is born to live, to learn, and to long for lifelong learning, but not with sorrow and tears, but with laughter, like the principal of the school. All we want is love, love, and love. And all we want is peace, peace, and peace in our homes, in our schools, in this world, and how beautifully our own philosophy has talked about and practices Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
The future of tomorrow depends on the children of today. Thank you for those beautiful words, ma'am. You have truly enlivened and enriched us all and have stimulated countless young minds with your sagacity and gentleness.